Hello everybody, Corey here. Gonna go over the YBIT trades and holdings this evening. Just a reminder, I am not an investment or financial advisor, and I just gather the data, present it to you, and then you can make your own decisions and or opinions from that, along with information you already know. Then we also have the YieldMax ETF risk information here that can be found on their website, which defines each one of these risks here, as these stocks are extremely risky. So please understand what you're investing in before doing so. So we do have some trades to go over here today. We'll go ahead and go over the whole trades tab since it's not that many for one ETF versus just on the other tab with the holdings. But so here we have a new, well, I say new, but they basically what they've done, they've received more money. They've now gone in and put on positions for another 750 contracts. So that top one on the synthetic call does say new because technically there is not one like it exactly on the holdings, and that's because in this case, and I thought it was weird the other day, and it wouldn't have been an issue if they would have continued the same way, but their call here says $29 versus $29.01, which is what they did the other day. So that's why this one says new, because it's different by 1 cent. And that will be reflected on the holdings as well, because when Zega sends this information to the custodian, then they just take the information, right, and they consolidate and make the holdings. So in the morning or tomorrow with the holdings, it may be adjusted and different. We'll see how they go about this, if they're going to fix it or not. But anyway, so we have that one, and then we have the next synthetic line there that says added, because this one does match exactly for the put. It has the 2901, same expiration date and everything. And then we have a new short call here that expires next Friday, May 3rd, and it has a strike price of $28.50, so this one is different from the other one we already had here. And then, of course, you can see, in case you're not familiar with my workbooks, and I try to keep these very similar as if at all possible. So if you're watching one, it's pretty seamless, but the holdings do look different on these with multiple stocks, unlike these single stock ones. But anyway, here is just today's price of this stock, and then this is the difference here. So in this case, the top two, right, the stock is 3% below the strike price, and then for the short call, it's 1% below. And then we can go over to the right, and again, I'd already told you that this was 720 contracts, but then you have the buy share price and then the total price, as far as either what we received or what we paid out. And then the left-hand side, you can see for this case, for BITO, the total for today was brought in $154,000. So just go over that a little bit more in depth in case you haven't seen it before. Now, so I used to do this all the time with the single stock. I'd go over each and every single line of these, but when you're doing 19 ETFs, the videos could get very long. And as you know, we start working and adjusting the workbooks as needed, I've been able to add lines on the holdings, so we don't always have to go on the trades tab and go through these trades one by one. Now, if it is something that's closed out, that's no longer showing on the holdings, then yes, we would have to come over here and look, because obviously it's not going to show on the holdings because it's closed, and that's if it's fully closed. But apologize for those that are used to my spreadsheet, if you've been watching Ulti anyway. So over here, and this is what I'm talking about on the left-hand side here, so I have formulas built in here that will pull the data over, and you can see here, like this one is saying this is what we added. We added to it, 720 contracts, and that was the share price, and that was the total price. And then these identify that those are new to here. And then this would just keep us from having to go through the trades tab, and we could stay here all on one tab. But we already went over those trades, so I'm just going to go ahead and scroll over, and we're going to make this fit one page. There we go. Because during the Ulti videos, I've been told that you can see all of this just fine on your phone here. But so let's just start at the top up there. Ulti yesterday closed at 1977. Today they closed at 1992. So the stock price did increase by 15 cents, which is good because Bitcoin was actually going down, and everything Bitcoin related went down today. Even the stock market was down a little bit. Of course, it did end up coming up in after hours due to earnings and stuff. But anyway, yeah. So then I haven't fixed this formula for here, but obviously we only have one ticker in our portfolio right now for YBIT, and then 4.5 million in net assets, and we have increased our outstanding shares from 125,000 to 225,000. So because of that, that's why they were able to make more trades today, because they had an additional 100,000 there. So this is not going to be accurate because I did not copy over the trades from today. All right, so I forgot about that, trying to get everything done and moved around and presentable here. But those formulas should update. We'll see, but we'll keep moving on. In the meantime, I did fix it on my computer. So we can see here that we have two short calls for BITO. We had the one that expires this Friday, which is actually tomorrow, because I think it was Thursday, right? Yep. So this one expires tomorrow, has a strike price of $30, and we're currently 6% underneath that. Of course, we have no clue how. How Bitcoin's going to move tomorrow. I don't know. But, so the reason, I just thought I'd check on my computer. The reason that at the top didn't change is because I forgot I'd already pasted values, therefore it didn't have formulas in it. So at the top that should be 33 cents. But anyway, I was saying that we are currently 6% below the stock price of, which is 28.22, but you can see that that did end up increasing roughly 1% today. We also have the short call that they just did for next week, which has a strike price of $28.50. So we're currently 1% below that, which is, 28 cents. So it's pretty close there for today. And then the synthetics here that I was talking about. So you see the first one on day one on their holdings, they had the 29.01. And then for today's trades for the call, they had 29. So they're split up on here. We'll see tomorrow if this gets adjusted and they fix it to where, the call is $29 and the put is 29.01. Because I'm pretty sure that that's how, just pulled it up real quick over here. On the single stock ETFs, the call has always been an even number and the put has always had a cent on it. That's why I thought it was odd originally when they both had a cent. But we will see, and we can see on the, let's go over the fact that we're 3% underneath our synthetic, and I forget that if you're not new to tracking these, or if you're not new to options, in this case, you're wanting the share price to stay between the synthetic and short call. So you want it to be above the short call strike price, but you want it to be below, you want it to be above the synthetic strike price, but you want it to be below the short call strike price. Now, what they've done today is, a little different. So when you put the synthetics on, you're usually a couple of months out. This one, they only did a few weeks out. But then the stock price started dropping right after they put this on. So then the short for next week, they did it 28.50. So now that's below the synthetic. Obviously, though, our synthetic doesn't expire for a few weeks, so we really want to play it and, hope it works out for the short calls, for the short term, until we get closer, or past these short calls, or closer to the expiration date of the synthetic positions. But we can look over to the right hand side. All right, I apologize. I saw on the right hand side an error, or not, it wasn't even an error, just I wanted the numbers to be consolidated. And so the problem is with this one, when the holdings comes over, it's coming over weird. So the stuff is broken up. How you can see here, BITO is split up between the treasury and everything. And I'll just show it like this. And so it's not in the order that I want it to be because of how they're sorting it. They're sorting it by this column here. And so it's splitting up things for my data. So then what I've done the last few nights, but I'm going to have to, I don't know, this one, it's not that big, so it's not that big of an issue to manipulate the data. But when I do, sometimes I miss a few things, like that extra one not being added together like I like it to be. But then I try to make it, in order here to make it easier for you. But anyway, what I was getting at on the right-hand side is in column AQ there. This is how these market values affect the stock price. So you can see for the two short calls there at the top, it's bringing the stock down, or the NAV down, whatever you want to look at. Because here we actually have a gap between, and I don't know why. We have a gap there. We usually don't have gaps, or at least not, but maybe a few cents between the current and the NAV. But we do this time. And then over on the right, you see in that green column, this right here is just summing all the data below it, of course. These are rounded down here at the bottom as well, so it may be a few cents off. So you can see here they were roughly 3 cents off. But it's also because the market value, and I don't know if anybody's ever noticed this on my spreadsheets, and this was a question that Jay had taken last time we talked. He was going to reach out to the custodian and ask. But there's a difference between the market value and the net assets, and he was thinking maybe it was some kind of fee or something, and he was going to reach out and find that out. And basically that's why this is here. So that's also why you would see a difference between what the NAV says here versus what this says over here. So just to let you know that as well, but it's not that much off. But you can see that first short call, it's just bringing it down 1 cent, and then the second short call, it's 18 cents, and it's not because it's bad. Obviously, it's not bad. It is close to the stock price, but it's because it's further out. Normally we're only a week out, and of course we're already close to Friday, so we wouldn't want to do one that expires tomorrow unless we were very confident in ourselves. But we would want to do it out to next week. So that right there should go down as long as we don't go over the stock price, which at this point with, 6 trading days and being 28 cents away, that's possible. But then we go into the synthetic, and you can see we're 3% underneath that synthetic price. Granted, it's only like 80 cents, but it's still affecting the share price because we're looking at, 1,580 contracts at that being negative 3%. So it's bringing it down $1.12 a share. And then you can see at the bottom for our treasuries, our money market, and cash, all of these equal, you know, most of the stock price. So we can see here, all of those equal $21.41. And then, of course, these are bringing those down. But anyway, I thought I'd spend a few extra minutes to go over the spreadsheet just a little bit more for those of you that haven't watched Ulti or possibly even the single stock ones. The trades tab like this is the same for all three of my videos, the YBIT, the Ulti, and the trades and holdings. And for and then this one is the same as the Ulti, since this is going to be, you know, a multi-stock portfolio or ETF, then I'm using the same one, because then these, you know, could change or whatever. Unlike the single stock ones, right, they just have one stock in them. And this one is set up to have multiple. So I'm using the same layout for Ulti. But that's it. I'm sorry. I know this took more time because I was teaching and going into the spreadsheet a little bit and some of these numbers. But anyway, I hope this is helping, and at least you can see what's going on with the new YBIT ETF. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later, and I'm going to move on over to some of the other workbooks and get those done so I can get those videos out to you. Anyway, y'all have a great night. Bye.